And we're live. Okay. Assalamu alaikum, lovelies. How are we doing today?
Walaikum salam. We are lovely. How are
Praise be to
you?
Allah. I'm well. Thank you.
Oh,
I'm
praise to
well.
Allah.
And how are you? And you, Granny? We doing good. All praise are due to Allah. Okay, well, it is 8 o'clock, and I am going to open us up in prayer so we can get this rolling. Are we ready? Please get in a position that's most comfortable for you for prayer. In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, all praises due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the beneficent, the merciful, Master of the day of judgment. You do we worship, in your aid we seek. Guide us on the right path, the path of those upon whom thou hast bestowed favors, not the path of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. All praises due to Allah. Okay, I just want to tell. Okay, so my maintainer logged in at 7:24. He's ready. So I had to tell him give us like 35 minutes. We'll be back. And we have so creative sister is logged in with us also. Walaikum salam, sister. And today we are doing part two, and I missed part one. I apologize for y'all. I had some things to do. Um, this is part two. Are you debriefing your children when they come from school?
Mm.
You know, that's one of my things I talk to y'all about all the time. Like these people be getting on my nerves. Listen, Sister Mo, what you got to say?
You know what? This is part two. Welcome everybody to Cover Me Q. Part two of Are You Debriefing Your Children from School, like Mariam just said. And my children are in public school. Like I said last week, both of my younger ones, this is their first time being in public school, a brick and mortar school, and they absolutely love it. And I did it because I saw how unhappy that they were, being at home with the homeschooling. And I knew my older children, I had homeschooled them, they were miserable. So I said, let me just switch it up a little bit. Let me cater to their needs and see what fits them best. And letting them go to the public school was the best decision I could have ever made for them. They joined all the school activities. This is just the good side. This is just the good side that they joined all after school activities. But our school is only 3 blocks away, so it's
Mhm.
immediate access. If anything was to ever happen, I have access to my children. I'm on the parent teacher conference. The principal knows me. All the teachers know me. We have multiple streams of communication: class dojo, email. They got my cell phone numbers. It's just a lot that goes with it. I pack my children's lunch, so I know what they're eating. All of that is part of debriefing, because sometimes you got to debrief before you go to school and after you go to school. I don't want to take up too much time. That's my spin on it. That's the positive side. Of course, there's always a dual side to it. But I'll pass the mic to Granny and I'll pass the mic to Mariam, and I will pass the mic back to Mariam, rather, and I will let her take the floor.
Okay, well, okay, so I have I'm kind of mixed about it. I am right now I am doing remote home school learning. They are still in a school classroom type setting, but they are at home because of COVID, and I just have not decided to let them go back to a actual brick and mortar. They are okay at home. I might not be okay with them being at home. I think that's probably the biggest thing. But I think that if we changed up some things for them, they would probably do better.
Mhm.
Um, I've done the homeschooling where it was just me. I did that with the kindergartens for my grandson. I did that with kindergarten for my son, and then we decided to put my grandson in MUI, and my youngest son, he was in MUI, and they absolutely love being in the actual school setting. And when we just didn't do MUI anymore. Um, we came home,
Mm-hmm.
and we no, I put my grandson went with his mother, and then my son went to an actual brick and mortar school, and he loved his teacher. His teacher's name was Miss Karamoko, and she loved her classroom. And he was with the brick and mortar school for about a year and a half. So he did one school and he did another school level. He is third grade, but by the time COVID came, he we had to pull him out, and we did homeschool for the better part of first grade,
Mm-hmm.
the last end of it, because it was COVID, and then second grade has been all me. Then Mary is now kindergarten. It's been all me. Her pre-K has been me, and we used another program called Upstart, which was just something to help her just to get used to being on a computer and familiarizing herself with her ABCs and being able to type lessons out and following a curriculum that way. um, Debriefing them. I My son loved his teacher. His teacher had a African type of culture about herself
Mm-hmm.
that did not bother me or my husband,
Mm-hmm.
as far as really needing to debrief him, because she knew that we were members of the Nation of Islam. She respected that we were in the Nation of Islam. My son was able to go and be himself at the school, and he loved her and she loved him back. So we didn't have any concerns with that. She actually helped him learn how to ride a bike. You know,
What?
yes, like she was really like doing when they had their PE time and stuff like that. My son come home and he can ride a bike, like a
Okay.
regular bike, two wheels.
All
Yeah,
praises due to Allah.
yes, yeah.
That's beautiful,
Um,
sis. But so you said though, Mary, you said that did you say this you felt like you didn't have to debrief him because you knew the teacher? Is that what you said?
in a way, yes, because she knew us and she did not try to institute everything that the school said that they had to do.
Mm-hmm.
She came, when they do the kindergarten, sometimes the teachers come to the home and see if the child can is ready to go to her class. And she
Mm-hmm.
came out to my house, and when she came over, my son was going over English lesson C1 and they were on YouTube, and he was into it. He was enjoying it. He was doing, one, two, and I paused it, and so she went through her curriculum with him, being able to identify things, knowing that he knows what he needed to know as far as being from homeschool to coming to a regular school. So yeah,
Right.
she had no problems with that. If he came home, if he had something going on in school at that time, um and he needed to draw a picture, or he needed to talk about somebody, he needed to talk about something, he talked about the FOI, he talked about the MGT, he talked about Master Farad Muhammad and the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Minister Louis Farrakhan, and he loves Ishmael. I
No.
just yeah, he loves Ishmael. He would actually sit down and listen to Ishmael, to student minister Ishmael, our national representative,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and he still might fall asleep, but he likes him. He likes him, and Mary is excited over brother Nuri. So
Well, that's
I
beautiful that they even recognize these people and know their names because a lot of our children they really don't.
oh yeah, yeah,
They really don't. So praise be to Allah for that. So
yes,
would
yes,
you ever
yes.
consider sending your children to a public school or a charter school?
I Maybe a charter school, but it would have to be a real reason other than me feeling you know perplexed about it, simply because it's so much going on. Is
Mm-hmm.
that we see, public schools, charter schools, we really need to know what is the foundation of the school, as far as what are their goals, what are they really trying to teach our children, while we feel the need that we really have to debrief them. You got transvestites doing story time for kindergartens. I'm not trying to confuse my son, whether or not he should be dressed up like a woman in high heels and wearing lipstick and red and yellow hair during story time. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want that for my son. He gets enough of that just when we're scrolling through something. He's seeing this and he's seeing that. I have to debrief him just from watching TV.
Oh yeah.
Let alone 8 hours in a whole nother facility.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Then you
Yeah.
got 6 year olds and 7 year olds. They want to come to school with guns. They killing everybody. No.
Yeah. It's definitely a personal decision. It's definitely a family decision. And
Yes.
and it's definitely different strokes for different folks, because the most honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that we should be teaching our children at home. Also, I don't think that he will also be upset with for the ones that are doing the best that we can, and that our children do go to public or private school,
Mhm.
because we keep close tabs on them. We're actually being parents, and we're parenting them. I know I talk to my children every day. I ask them every single day, "How was your day?"
Mhm. Mhm.
I asked them, "What did you learn?" I asked them, "What stood out to you?" I said, "Did somebody say something crazy to you today?" I just asked them all type of questions, because they
Mhm.
might not even know if somebody said something to them that shouldn't be said, because they're young children. So, but that the briefing is crucial. It's crucial. It has to be a prerequisite when we're sending our children out. Basically, like they say in the killing fields. But I do think that we can make the best of the situation, like as far as myself, because sometimes it's a sanity issue. You know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah.
seriously, you know what I mean? We have to
Oh
take
yeah.
care of our mental health as well as parents, and I don't think that we should feel bad if we send our children to school, or public or charter school, if that's the best decision for the family. As
That's
long as
right.
nobody's being harmed, and we're not doing anything to go against our way of life. You know what I
Right.
mean? I think it's just a personal decision.
What do you mean when you say
Like, because
mental health?
sometimes it would just be
And I'm
me.
asking this question before you give me the answer because some people will say, "Oh no, well this is what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, and then this is the way it should be,"
Hmm.
but everybody is different. So when you see women snapping out and acting crazy, it because they've been around their children 24 hours a day, and people don't understand that. So when you say mental health, can you define a little bit in your words what do you mean by that?
Yeah, exactly. Because I have 7 children, and at one time, I had 5 of them homeschooled at the same time. You know what I mean? Different grade levels, and more. Some needed assistance, some needed 24-hour assistance when they were online. Some were more independent, I found myself pulling myself in so many different ways, because there was no other learning coach. It was just me. And my husband was out working 2 jobs, providing for the family. So this was my post, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
well, the next year it gets worse, or the next year it gets worse. And I'm like, okay, I have to put myself in a mental place where I'm able to teach my children, or nobody's going to learn. And then when I start seeing how unhappy they are just with the
Mhm.
whole curriculum, and just sitting there and being non sociable and staring at the screen, and then writing so much the hands start to ache, and it's just a lot with that. And the times are changing, you know what I'm saying? We're in 2023. Like, technology is so vast nowadays. Like, you don't necessarily have to keep your children at home, and but it's okay if you do. Like, that's the blessed place. Like, I really rather have my children at home with me, and be able to teach them, have the perfect life, and eat a healthy lunch, and cook bean soup and wheat muffins all day and stuff like that. But that didn't work. That
Mhm.
didn't work for my family. I mean, it worked if I made it work, but then what about them being happy and being able to enjoy their lessons? Like, all of that's a part of it. Everything can't be so strict, because we're not tapping
And
into
then
our
doing
children's
this all day.
creativity. Yeah, we're not tapping into their creativity. So with my personal decision, I made the decision, but I took a vote first. I asked my children. We had a family discussion, and my husband said, "It's up to you, whatever you want to do." Because I take care of them most of the time, as far as spending quality time, because he's always away at work.
Mhm.
So I had to make a decision to send them to, and I told my husband, I said, like, I think this is too much. Like, this
Mhm.
is too much. And he was like, okay, well, then let's just give it a try. And if it don't work out, or if I didn't like it, it ain't nothing just to bring them back. So I
Mm-hmm.
gave it a try, Sister Mariam, and Granny, and it worked out.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any maybe small advice for some husbands or some sisters that may be watching that may be having a difficult time with their significant others expressing how they may be feeling burnt out? And I want to give a shout out and response to the our viewers. Um, like I said, we have So Creative, and I return the greetings back to you, So Creative. Walaikum salam. So Creative sister says, I look forward to this show now. And praise be to Allah. I appreciate that. Sister Beverly sends the greetings. Sister Tracy sends the greetings. Trinice Ashford sends the greetings. Jocelyn Bailey sends the greetings. Trinish said it can be a burnout for sure. Absolutely, it can definitely be a burnout. So if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I would just say, first of all, both parties have to be open minded, and when you're discussing this, and both parties have to be willing to look at it from their partner's point of view. You know what I'm saying? And when you talk about it, the other person has to listen, and they have to be genuinely concerned and have a sincere willingness to solve the problem, because it's the problem. You know what I'm saying? It's a problem at hand. And as Muslims, we should be able to come together as husband and wife, and sit down and have a civilized conversation, and be able to make a judgment call together. I just thank Allah that my husband was just open minded enough to just listen to me, because ultimately I'm the one that's really taking care of them during this time period. You know what I'm saying? So let's make this as easy as possible for me, but let's make it productive for everybody. You know, that's the advice that I give. You have to be able to care enough about your partner to see what they're telling them, and then for the best interest of your children. Like if I'm coming to my husband, I'm telling him, I'm like, look, I don't think so. I don't think this is good for Soraya. Like, look at her grades. She went from here to here. You know what I'm saying? It's always an issue. It's always a problem. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? They're not happy. They're complaining. So something has to change. Something has to be different. And as mothers, being the first teacher, sometimes we have to implement it and then let them see it, let them see the results, because they don't always understand the plan or the process. You know what I'm saying? Because like Minister Ava says, we are two different creatures. We think differently, and that's
Mm-hmm.
okay. We're supposed to think differently.
Mm-hmm.
My husband is not supposed to see a situation how I see it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because I'm the feminine side.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always going to be different, but it's important for us to listen to one another. I'm learning as every day when I'm married, I'm learning it's so important to listen to your partner. When they're telling you something, that's how they really feel. However it makes me feel, it is irrelevant if he's telling me something. So I
Mm-hmm.
need to humble myself, and I need to listen
Mm-hmm.
to what my husband is telling me, and I need to come back with an intelligent response, or maybe not. Maybe think
Mm-hmm.
about it. Maybe go pray
Mm-hmm.
first. Maybe go to sleep, then
Mm-hmm.
come back with an
Yes.
intelligent response.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. Sister Granny over there, you real quiet. I'm almost afraid to get you crunk up right now. What's going on over there?
I'm good. Greetings to everyone. I thank you all. How are you today? May Allah continue to bless us. Also, a lot
Granny.
going on. The world is changing, as we know, fast and extreme fast pace. When it comes to, well, like salam, Sister April, I just want to let you know also to alaikum salam, sugar. When it comes to debriefing my children, I thank God, and I really do, that my children are grown. I mean, I never thought, sometimes when you see your children, all you see them is running around and the big wheel. We had big wheels back then. Y'all children knew now. But with the big wheel races, y'all remember big wheels. And the bikes and all the little backyard things. And we never thought that they would honestly grow up. And it happened so fast. But I'm thankful they're grown, because I don't have to deal with most of this no more that we have to deal with. When our children were younger, the most we had to deal with at the time was people talking about them or being bullied. That was the most. It was like bullying was like big, big. Don't they even have movies about bullying? Don't bully. But you didn't worry about them not coming home on a level from shootings, and you didn't worry about the teacher coming in and she was seducing your little son. You know, you didn't worry about that kind of stuff. Yes, nothing why we could talk to our children. You know, because now when
I'm
you
about to
watch,
talk about this year.
when you watch the news now, you look at how is it that it's so many grown women are now finding their way to be
Pedophiles.
even allured to a young man, you know, even allured by a young man. How? Ugh. No. There's no way in the world that you have made yourself to where you even see an attraction to a 13-year-old. But now even our boys are being groomed by grown women this way. You know, it used to be that was a conversation you had to the girls. Don't let your teacher talk to you. Make sure nobody walks you in the bathroom. But now you have to do this with your boys. So I'm thankful that my children are grown. But my grandchildren are a whole different ball game. Being a grandmother, I realized that it's a lot more put on us. I understand my grandmother more. I'll say this. I'm thankful for her because being with my grandchildren, I realized I have more time with them than their mom does. So I picked the school they go to. I had to help. I picked the school they go to because that was my choice of this is where I feel safe enough after I pick them up to where they're going to be and the conversations I have with them and how they go about. I don't honestly, I live in a different city. You live in Philly, you live in Detroit. Everybody's city is different. But in California, no, ma'am. I would literally cut off my baby teeth and break my toes in half before I would send them babies to public school in California. That's just my honest truth. California schools, or back in the day, people used to say, I heard the brother, he's passed away now, but he was a comedian. He said, when we went to recess, we came back.
Mm-hmm.
They go to recess, they don't come back.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them don't. The school's over for the day because somebody shot the place up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so the conversations we have and what we had with my children when they were grown were much different than the conversations we have now. You know, so I was willing to give up my life. Like sister said, she gave up her life for her children to put their children, and your peace of mind was, but I had to give up a big chunk of me to be able to not have to have that other worry. And this is me. I have literally set myself down. Why Allah set me down, I don't know. Maybe he was thinking I was out there doing way too much. I was wilding. I don't know. But he completely sat me all the way down. And my full day is my grandbabies and my son. I do have one more. He my words with him is different. And he's another one to where I wouldn't be able to talk to him the way that you would talk to your children. So that was another reason why. No, sir, that was not an option. If I have to walk around in shoes with holes in them, put some cardboard at the bottom, I'd have put some cardboard at the bottom shoes before I send them to public school because I don't want that to hurt nobody. And I know that also too, when I watch people who deal with special children, because the child can't talk or doesn't communicate the way they feel they should, people find it real convenient to do things to your children because they feel that nothing will happen to them.
That's right.
And for me, to keep myself out of prison because I don't like noodles and I don't wear orange, so I won't be an orange of the color today. It was best that I had my baby somewhere where I can be, you know, comfortable, a peace of mind. And if that meant that I had to give up a piece of myself, which was my own money, then that's what I had to do. Because it's a lot that plays a part in public school in my city. It's not the same. I wish when I hear Mo talk about public school in her city, I'm just totally jealous because we didn't have cooking clubs. We don't have all that for the children. We don't have all these different things for the young ones to do. Literally, these children, the schools now in California look like prisons. So when they say prison pipeline, it's a true prison pipeline in California. They have taken all the windows out of the schools. They have little air conditioners that don't work. Yes, there are no windows in the school. And all the gates are like 10 feet high. And they have spikes at the top of them. So what are you preparing a child's mind for? For prison. Wow. You've seen the lunches that they serve to these children. I wouldn't dare let my child eat out of your kitchen if you pay me millions of dollars. No. I'm going to still make him a little sandwich and we go still do what we do. Because this is the things that we see go on in our city are completely different than other people's cities, but everybody has the same woes and worries. It's just that my state is what they call a sanctuary state. So in California, being a sanctuary state, it is the place for all the foul and filthy birds. They all seem to make their way here. And it's already been implemented to where they have the ABCs being read to your child, and your child can pick their gender, and we have gender neutral bathrooms already. You know,
Mm,
my grandbaby went somewhere. We were together the other day, and my daughter stayed outside the bathroom. My grandbaby came back crying. And I was like, "What are you crying for?" She said, "Because grandma, the bathroom had a man and a woman on it."
mm.
And she said, "Auntie was over there, and my auntie's on the phone. I didn't want to ask her, but I said, why you didn't go tap your auntie and go ask her?" But basically, she was saying that I didn't know what bathroom to go in because they had both people on it.
Mm.
Mm.
Wow.
So this is the sickness that we have, what we have to deal with and talk to our children consistently and constantly, because what are they perpetuating to our children when they're not around us?
Mm-hmm.
So this is my little two cents. It's not gonna pay the bills, but just my little 2 cents. So.
I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, is it? I remember being younger and seeing, both signs on the bathroom, but at that time, that was for like a family room. And back then, you don't go into the family room unless it was mama and daddy and the child, right? So, is that something that now they're just putting up everywhere? Because I think I've seen one, but I don't think I bothered to pay it a whole lot of attention because I thought family room. You understand?
When we were younger, no, ma'am. I don't remember a family bathroom. I remember it was a mother and a child in that bathroom.
Oh,
Right.
It never was mama, daddy, sister, brother, grandma, cousin, auntie, and whoever else, and Uncle Willie and the dog. Everybody else wasn't going in that bathroom. It
and
was
that's
just,
something else
and
that
this is something
really
different.
scares
So what's
me.
going on now is that our children are, if the newest thing I saw, somebody said that there was a guy who was in the bathroom, and I don't think this was in California, but he was complaining because he was transgender and he wanted to go in the bathroom with the girls. He went in the bathroom with the girls because by law you have to let him go in there. But he was literally taking pictures of the women while you're in there. So do you see the and this is my thing is if when our children are away from us, we don't know all the teachers that are there.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know who got a skirt on that's really up underneath as a man, as a whole man. We don't know who has on some trousers, but up underneath the trousers and a short haircut is a whole woman. So the confusion that they see is something that this is why we talk our conversation today. Are you debriefing them? Are you talking to them? Are you showing them what's right and what's wrong? Are you giving them the understanding of this is what's cool, this is what's not? Where our children go to school, it makes no difference. Even if they're sitting at home with you, you still have to have these conversations because
Oh
they
yeah.
have YouTube, they have internet, and they have this new thing that's all the children
Mhm.
play Roblox. But kind of find out Roblox even got transgender Roblox things. So
Oh, really?
you better watch what your baby's watching and be careful when they scroll in them little shorts on YouTube. I popped up in one day. See, every now and then grandma nosy. But I go through their history.
Mm.
And the history on YouTube, oh no, ma'am, all y'all run y'all tails up in here and come give me your phones. Y'all done for the
Oh
day.
yeah, I run the history. I run the history. I'm the only
Y'all
one that they can
done for the
sign
day.
in to.
Mhm.
I run the history.
Y'all done for the
Yes,
day.
I do. I do that part. Yes, I do. And I definitely question them about this. Like, who was watching this?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll rewatch it and be like, "Now, didn't you find this inappropriate?" Well, yeah. When we saw that, then we turned. But and what I tell them, I said is, I mean, because it'll show you it like on the screen, it'll show you if they watched it all the way through.
Yeah.
Because it'd be like a little red bar at the
Little
bottom of the
bar at the
screen
bottom.
or a white
Mm-hmm.
bar maybe, and it'll show you if they watched it all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
and for the most part, thank God they be telling the truth because I noticed that, but I don't think that they noticed that. But I'm just saying, like, I'd be like, this wasn't appropriate. But then
Yeah, child, stop it.
the commercials, they ain't talking about HIV and making sexual preference the norm. They talking about going to the grocery store and the norm. And I'm saying to
Mm-hmm.
myself, like, did they really just have to have two men holding hands in a grocery store to show you how to pick an avocado?
Yes, that's sick.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's your agenda.
Mm-hmm.
And and you know, in the house that I used to have, and I don't even know why I've gotten to a place where, and I don't know, like I never bought all these TVs, but, and I'm not putting this on my husband, I'm just saying, like, I've never really been a TV person. He'll be telling me, oh, did you watch the news? No. Did you see this? No. You know, because when I get on YouTube, I have an agenda that I'm looking for on YouTube. When I'm, you know, doing something else, like on my Facebook page, you have to understand, I may not necessarily be the social media guru, but I'm looking for something, I'm doing something, my page pays me money. Please don't tell me to stop that, because what I'm doing on Facebook, I'm making money on Facebook. I get a check from Facebook. I don't can't speak for everybody else. I don't care if they send me $5 one month and 120 the next. I'm making money on Facebook. That's what I'm doing on Facebook. I can't speak it for everybody else. Oh, well, you might have to get off of social media. Well, me getting these little checks is keeping me out of your pocket.
That part.
You know, so, and I'm not being defiant. I'm just saying it's keeping me out of your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't have to ask you for certain things. I don't have to ask you for certain things, you know, because I have a couple dollars coming in. My social media pages are helping me to buy supplies and for me to do all the other things that I'm doing that might not be normal, like the plaque. And, you know, I just made this plaque for a sister, just completely out of the ordinary. She just like, hey, I saw this on this is the Sister Fatima. Bless her heart, had on one of my MGT bags with her name on it. And the sister said, oh, the black is so black.
Yes,
She
it's
has
great.
a beige with the black writing on it. The black is so black and it's so vibrant and it's so present. I want something with that black that looks like that.
Mm-hmm.
And she wants a plaque, not a
Yes,
bag. And I'm
yes.
like, oh, okay, that's interesting. I've never done that before, but you know what? I'm not afraid.
No.
You know, you can call me and be like, sis, this is what I want. I'll be like, huh, okay, tell me what you want. And then she sent me a picture of something, you know, and I'm doing this. This is intentional to lighten the mood. This is what we do with auditing. But you know, to lighten the mood just for a second. We, you know, so she sent me, you know, the card, and she's like, okay, well, yeah, you know, I want to say thank you for this card. And I said, okay, so you want something that's representative of the card. And so I made her something. I don't know, I put that thing on Facebook and a whole lot of people liked it. She took it to the mom, she took it to MGT class, and it was just so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, when we get to get to the school, back to the school part, sis,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think I would be really upset if my daughter came home and told me that it was a man in the bathroom with her, you know, and she knew it was a man, and they walked her into the bathroom and that type of stuff. Like, I just,
Sister said teachers will
so
ask boys if they want to wear a dress, but won't their mom. Um, you know, sis, we had a sister last week that said it was a teacher that was putting fairy princess dresses on the little boy, and she was forcing the little boy to fairy princess dress. You know, how sick is that? You know, wherever our children are at this time of day, you know, if they're home or if they're in private school or in public school, if they're in charter school, if they're in school on the moon, you still got to figure, you got to talk to them. Because we were driving down the street, because our children ride with us every day, and we saw a billboard, and the billboard was showing about the children were on, um, the children, excuse me, two men, and the two men were on vacation, but the vacation had two men hugged up, and it was a question of what was the point of that? Why is it that the two men had to be on hugged up to go to vacation? So what do you tell your children when they see this? You know, so this is the conversation we're talking about today. And yes, it is a heavy conversation, and it's not something that we want to peruse through real fast, because it's something that everyone has children, and we all have to have these conversations with our children, even the older ones. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I asked my sons, and if I ain't seen you with a girlfriend or somebody, a girl too long, you still like girls, right? You still like boys, right? Yes, ma'am. Okay, well, I'm just making sure, because if
I
you
got
don't,
the cutest little story
man,
about that.
you better ask them questions. You better ask them questions, because what happens is the world is becoming so commonplace to do other than what's normal and natural.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Okay, here's the story. So my son goes to the zoo last year, and of course he's online, and he sees this girl in the classroom,
Mm-hmm.
and we realize that he has a crush on her. It
Mm.
was the cutest thing. Yes, I mean, you 6 years old, you got a crush on a girl. Oh, I was a proud mama that day. You don't even understand. I was a proud mama. Like, oh, at least I know emphatically which way he going, right?
Isn't that
And
crazy?
he wanted to hang out with this girl. He wanted to talk to this girl. And when she had to go off with her parents, and we had to go off our way, oh, his heart was hurting so bad, and he was just so upset. So Daddy took him, and they kind of walked off to this little trail a little bit so that he could talk to him about him liking the girl and why she can't come with us and that type of stuff. And I just thought that was just the cutest little thing. And I said, oh, okay, because when I asked him, I said, what's the matter? And he just said, oh, you wouldn't understand, it's a boy thing. I was just like, no, I do understand, and I'm not getting ready to get in the middle of that. I want you to talk to him. I want him to hear your voice in him, and you do that thing that you do as the man with him, and help him to understand his nature as a boy. Now that I see. And then this year we went to the zoo again, and she was there, and he just still likes this girl. But my son like a lot of girls. I'm not gonna lie about it. He like a couple little girls. I ain't gonna lie about it.
And back in the day, we used to get whooped for that. They call you man. Man. I ain't whooping nobody for being mannish no more. You like girls? Come on. Ain't no more mannish no more. I remember my son got in trouble because he was a toucher. And you bring home, you spank him and pop him. He used to rub girls on their shoulders, and you back then you got a whooping for that. No, I know you don't be touching girls. What's wrong with you, boy? But you're happy that they like the opposite sex, and that's crazy how the world has gotten to where things that we would discipline for now we congratulate.
Mm-hmm. I mean, because the agenda is so prevalent. Like they pushing this dragon's tail. They pushing it. Do you hear me? And they want this dragon and knock all the stars out. And we can't let that happen. We can't let the dragon take over. No. We just can't. No. And I hear my brother Mustafa talking about that part. Right. That part. No, we're not finna let that happen. I want to go to the sister Beverly.
We're gonna come back on that one because it's gonna have Mary talking forever on that one.
I'm just gonna give her the real quick thing. I mean, you have to be notarized by Facebook as a content creator.
Yeah.
Once your pages have been looked at as a content creator, they will invite you to their Meta Studio. The Meta Studio is basically the back door that tells you what you need to do, how you need to do it, how many times you need to do it to keep this up. And then they tell you, if you do this, then you'll get this. If you do that, then you'll get this. And then somewhere in between, they just say, yeah, we're sending you a check, even if you didn't do this and you didn't do that, but we still gonna send you some money.
But Greedy Zuckerberg, he stopped paying too. How about that? Greedy Zuckerberg stopped paying that last month. So
actually, he didn't, because I got a check.
Okay, well, I heard he said he stopped paying.
No, they didn't stop it. I think they stopped the invitation part.
Okay, because I'm a content creator too, but I don't have time for Zuckerberg. And it was he said, natural young men. They are, brother.
Yes,
thankful.
Yes, yes, natural young men. Yes. No, it was a thing that they were doing that they stopped. It wasn't just the invite; it was some type of a goal setting that they wanted you to do. It was like a game.
Okay.
So, and that part I believe they did stop. But if your page is monetized, I have 1, 2, 3 pages that's monetized. Then I have a connection with my Instagram, my Instagram that's monetized. So a lot of stuff that's on my Facebook page instantly goes over to my Instagram, and I link my reels. And that's something that people have to do if you really want to get into it. Link your reels and have people watch your reels. If you want your YouTube page to be monetized, stop putting stuff on Facebook. Only put your YouTube on your Facebook. You want people to watch your YouTube page. if that's what you're going for. I think YouTube pays more money. However, if that's what you're going for, that's just my little secret link. I be trying to tell people, you want people to watch your YouTube, only put your YouTube stream on your Facebook page. And if you want them to watch your reel, give people something to look at. You got
That's
people
right.
that, find out what it is that people like to look at. People are interested. You'd be surprised at the stuff that people are interested in. So,
And we'll do
we
that
want to,
show next week. That's a new
yeah,
show.
that's y'all. That's your right there.
That's a new
So
show.
I pray, Sister Beverly, that I've answered your question. Natural intention
That's
community
Sister
says,
Kimberly. Hey,
Walaikum
Kimberly.
salam. Hey. Yes, and brother Mutaka, yeah, natural young man. If that was referring to me, oh yes, I'm so happy. I'm happy that my daughter like boys too. I'm not gonna get off into that conversation. That's
You're not
something that's
her
off
daddy gonna
air.
cut somebody.
Can't do that. Yeah, can't do that one. But she like boys. Praise
That's
be
a
to
good
Allah.
thing.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy about that. But this
Monique, you
school
done
thing, we
hydrated
just
4 times. What you trying to say?
hmm,
You done hydrated 4 times. Go on, say it.
this stuff that's
You
in
on
this
mute.
school
Mm-hmm.
is horrible.
Mm-hmm.
I would like for my son and my daughter to have the experience. At least, like my daughter, she's never had the experience outside of being, when I volunteered at MUI, she had that experience to socialize. I just can't. I would rather allow my blood pressure to be high than to deal with a man teaching my daughter to be something that she's not,
Yeah.
or a man being a woman to teach my son something that he is not. And I'm already struggling just to try to protect the basic part of his education.
Yeah.
I don't think that the school has any right to be doing what they're doing. But I had an article one time where I saw where people were complaining that the schools were not meeting the children's needs academically, and the school came back and said it's not our job.
It's not.
I said it's not our job. Our job is to prepare children in the uh, their job. They said something about their job was basically to prepare them institutionally, and that was the word. The other key word that I zoned in on was institutionally for the world. What they do academically depends on their parents, because the parents are supposed to teach their children, and then we implement those teachings and see what is right and what's wrong, or something like that. But that institutional part was something else that I keyed in on. Like I said, when you talked about your children being in the schools out there and how the schools look like jail, that's basically what they were saying. We're preparing them for this.
Yeah.
And I had somebody else break it down for me one time before, like, it's, I think my brother told me this, and he's been in public school basically all his life, and he was just like, yeah, it is institutional, because just think about what happens when we're in jail. Somebody tells you when to wake up, when to go to bed. They ring a bell for your next classroom. They walk you into a hallway on a single file line. You have to stand in line in order to get from one place to another. They make you put your stuff in lockers if you want it to be protected. The bathrooms are open basically for the public community, which is inside the school.
They put your food on a tray.
Put
That
your
part.
food on the tray. You can, then you sit at the tables that's basically set up like the prisons rooms are, and they feed you down the line, down the line, down the line, down the line, and they're training you. They're training you basically,
Mm-hmm.
and for those that know how to get out, you're going to get what you need to get and move on. Some people can use it to go to a college, which we don't necessarily know if any of that stuff is actually working for you or not, because I learned trig, and I learned calculus, and I learned, some basic alchemy, and I'm sitting here saying to myself, I ain't used none of that.
I don't build bridges though.
I,
I can tell people.
I ain't use. I'm just saying. I ain't using. I've never used any of it. I took psychology classes. I think the most part of what I've used was anatomy. Some of the stuff that I learned in college, I actually did use because I did go to school to be a doctor. But um, that part, like I did retain some of that.
Hmm.
I mean, we I took Spanish and I took a whole class.
I took 3 years. I can speak money though.
Right. That part, you
All I need to know.
what do you
I,
retain?
I speak
And
money.
and that's the whole thing about I think why we chose to use the word debriefing. What are our children retaining?
Hmm.
And then for me, like I have to be debriefed.
Hmm.
Even just being in the house, like I'm in the house, I have to be debriefed because these people will pull you and make you feel like you need to be perpendicular, vertical, you need to be upright, and then you try to watch yourself, catch yourself, hold your breath before you go pop, and they don't understand it, and then they make it seem like they're the victims, you know. And no, you're not the victim. Like I had when my children had to start school, and I shared the story with y'all how my children had to and I scheduled their appointments to go and get their school physicals in February,
Hmm.
but nothing was available until like October. School starts in September. They're hounding you in August for all of this information. I already told them when school started that we had the doctor's appointments, but the schools were the doctor's offices was backed up. And in this one particular conversation I had with this woman, she said my name in the email with an explanation point, Mary. We've been asking for this paperwork since we told you that we needed it. And if they don't have it by then we're going to block their computers.
Mm.
First off, my name is Dr. Mary White. If you need to address me, and that's how you will. I don't know you for you to take away what I've earned by addressing me by my first name. We don't go by first name basis over here. First. Secondly, I don't care if you want to block their computers or not. I already told you that the doctor's office was backed up. Here is a copy of the doctor's appointment email confirmation if you need it. But if that ain't good enough for you, baby, bye. Why do you have to talk to these folks like this? You think it's okay for you to just call me by my first name? Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Oh, you think that you just got that comfortable with me because you think that you can hold something on me? Baby, I don't need your school. I don't need your computer. I don't need your curriculum. I don't need your teachers. I don't need them. And then I ended my conversation with my signature, Dr. Mary White Sr. What? You're going to address me appropriately. Doggone it. And I needed to be debriefed because that made me feel some kind of way. I think I called y'all like, do y'all know what this woman just did?
You did.
You know who she thinks she's talking to? Who she thinks she's talking to? Man, I
Bless
just
her
said this
heart.
woman straight like she got quiet. All she did was said okay.
Yes, ma'am. Bless her heart. We're gonna pray for Becky and Mary and get loose on her. So
They don't know what's going on the other side of that phone. Like I want to snatch you. Ain't that what your mama say? I will snatch you.
Shanice said, my twin teachers tried to give them a pamphlet saying it's okay to be gay and told her, nah, we good.
Oh, isn't that against the law?
No. This is what we're trying to say. You're blessed. When when you tell the stories about your babies in their school, you are completely blessed. And I'd be so happy when I hear how happy they are. I seen their faces when they come from school. They just be just the happiest little children, bless their little heart. You know, but no, it's not against the law, babe. Mm-mm. And that's the sad part. There is no law. We're in a very corrupt world, and we're the ones that got the problem. Let them tell it, because we don't side with their madness.
That's
What
crazy.
would you do if your baby came home with a pamphlet saying it's okay to be gay?
I'm sorry. I would take her out. I would have to take them out to school. I would just have to. I would just have to soldier up and find another step of recourse. And it would probably be homeschooling again.
I tried that, and I have no hair in the front because I was picking it out, like sitting there plucking my front hairs out. It wasn't going down. I said in the third grade, and I was 47 in the third grade again. I was like, I did already did third grade. This ain't going down. I can't do it again. It was too much for me, and my babies did not function in homeschool. But mine went to public school, and you know what? I know what I'm going to say, Mary, is that our children do need some social. They have to be social with other people because they're not going to be around us all the time. So we have to allow them to see other people and to do other things and to learn how to maneuver in this world without us. It's just that our conversations that we give to them help them to be able to maneuver in this world and to be able to take on tasks of people who are
Yeah.
evil and the things that they're bringing to them. So they'll know how to dodge the excuse me, the BS that's being forged on them. Just like, what would I do if somebody gave my baby a pamphlet saying it's okay to be gay?
Right.
Because my first question I would ask my grandbabies, and what else did they tell you when they gave you this paper?
Right,
They
exactly.
hand this to you. What did they tell you when they said,
Right.
"Let me hand you this"?
Exactly.
Right. Exactly.
What was the conversation?
Exactly.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
who
because
gave
something
it?
went on. Something definitely went on.
So you just ain't hand nobody no paper.
Right.
You know what was today's lesson about this paper? Because there was a lesson behind it's okay to be gay. And who taught it to you? And what they look like?
Exactly.
And
What
everybody
did they
probably
look
on
like?
board
That
with the
part.
principal on board with the agenda, the teachers is on board, everybody's on board with that crap. So you can't even send an email and complain.
Now you're the one that's the problem. If you complain, what do you call homophobic?
Well,
You know, but
I wonder, can we change? How do we change this? Like, I'm not against what they want to do, but your bedroom preference has nothing to do with my life, especially when it comes to education. I mean,
right.
how did your bedroom rights turn into a political agenda?
well, the world changed because when we were younger, you didn't know what Miss McGillicuddy did. You know, she taught you 2 + 2 is 4, and that's all you remember. She came to school, she had her dress on, she was cool, she didn't say nothing. What she did at home was her business.
Hmm.
She could have
Exactly,
been,
that
she
part.
could have had her OnlyFans in the 70s. We didn't know. We didn't know what she did. All we knew was she came to school and she taught 2 + 2 is 4, and she kept her home business at home.
You know.
Period.
So, I would like to know, like, if we get. I saw a African minister, and I wanted to find this clip. I'm having a hard time. I got to figure out how I can get these clips and save them to a PDF type file or MP4 file so that I can play them, because I heard this African minister talking, and this woman was trying to question him about, his views on the letters of the alphabet society. And he said, absolutely no. We don't want that over here. We're not doing that over here. We don't want that over here. It's not something that we do over here. It's not acceptable over here. And if that's what y'all trying to push, y'all keep that over there. And and the woman was saying, well, if you want funding and you want aid and all that type of stuff, then you have to tell them what your agenda is, what your what is your preference for that? He said, absolutely not. He said, when that time comes and I'm asking for some aid and assistance, then I will tell you so. He said, but right now, as it stands, we don't do that here. We don't want that here. And I was like, somebody standing up to these people, because, and it was some woman from America talking to a black king about his preference. We're like, what does that have to do with anything that we got going on? We don't do that
Right.
here. We don't need that. We have other things that's going on in our ecosystem and our society that we need for our life, the basic needs that we have.
Hmm.
We're not worried about that. Like,
But we're
what
not.
does that have to do to take care of needs of the people.
Well, sister
Right.
says Ghana is banning and they will kill you.
I think that's what it was. I think it was Ghana.
And Ghana will kill you.
I
Mm-hmm.
think it was Ghana. I think it was the minister, the minister, prime minister, I think, of Ghana, whatever he
Mm-hmm.
called himself there. Yeah.
And I saw a judge that put these two men in jail in Ghana. He told them, "You can come out when you make a baby." He said, "When you two make a baby, you can get out of jail."
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So
So I don't think they coming home no time soon.
ain't that part of the reason why that girl got locked up? They kept talking about it was because she was buying contraband, but they
Yeah.
didn't. That place where she got locked up too, they don't accept that.
No, they don't play that.
They
I
didn't
don't
accept
know
that.
about Russia. I don't know, but they probably don't play that either.
I don't
Mhm.
think they do.
But you
Yeah.
know what? I
We
think
got
we
5 minutes left, Granny.
Yes, ma'am. I think we have touched on this. Everybody has an understanding of, I think now by 2 episodes of how to talk to your babies and keep them abreast of what's good and what's not and what's crazy and what ain't crazy. And we all understand that we're not going to leave these people to completely be the ones to teach our children. We know that we as the first teachers are the ones who have to give them their best education, and that is the understanding of who God is. And that's the best education that we can give them. They can learn the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s wherever we send them with that. They can learn how to count and read money and everything else. But if they don't have a fear and understanding of who God is, his messenger, his Christ is, then we have not done our job. So that's the main part right there. So Shani said, he said, if he see you, they kill you on sight. Yes, ma'am, and they should. So we have 4 minutes. I thank each and every one of you for hanging in with us. Our sister looked tired. She like she about to crash it on out. We're gonna let her go first because she like she about to fall out. Go ahead, Mo, and tell us what city you from and where we can find
Yes,
you.
my name is Monique Muhammad, Philadelphia Muhammad Mosque number 12. I have my own cleaning business, a Cleaning Woman LLC. I service Philadelphians. I'm in New Jersey. My business email is a cleaningwoman@gmail.com. I'm on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. Also, Monique the Rap Star. I'm a hair wrap specialist and accessory stylist. I can show you how to wrap your head with anything. Follow my YouTube channel, Monique the Rap Star, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat as well. What else? You already know about Cover Me Cute because you're on here with us and we appreciate that. But we still do have an Instagram page. We have a YouTube channel naturally. We have a Facebook page. And we have a TikTok. Cover Me Cute with the K. I'm gonna pass the mic on to Mariam.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. I'd like to thank everyone for their participation. Thank you for your views. Thanks for staying with us the entire time. I can be found on my main page as Marianne Magdalene X White. On any of my social media pages, you can find me. Whatever you need, just find me. I don't want to go through all that. I am a serial entrepreneur, serial educator. I am a serial learner, whatever you want to call it. I've been a seamstress for over 3 decades. And I recently just got certified from an accredited school for Reke. And I am a master teacher for levels 1, 2, and 3. So we can communicate with that as well. Be looking forward to other things that's coming. And I thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to pass the mic over to Granny.
Hello, y'all. Assalamu alaikum. I am Granny, as they know, they call me Granny. My business is Crowns by Mahogany at Crowns by Mahogany. That's crowns with a K.com by Mahogany. You see how I spell the word right there? We sell turbans, head wraps, and some a little bit of everything. Modest wear is our specialty. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and I guess a YouTube, but I ain't been on there in a while, but I'm there. Anyway, we thank you once again, Queens and everyone. I am in Los Angeles, California, in Compton Mosque number 54 in the city of Compton. You can find me at one of the mosques. Let them know Granny sent you. They get you a good seat. And don't forget to tell them I sent you so I can get my name knocked on and they can add you to my list. But other than that, we thank each and every one of you for your time. Your time is greatly appreciated. We know that you could be doing anything else, could be anywhere else with your time, but you decided to come out, hang out with us. And that's a very special thing for us. And we appreciate for it. So please enjoy the rest of your day. May your week be fabulous. And I just want to say this real fast. Love your family. Love the ones you with. Love the ones you're around. And just enjoy life at this point in time because it's moving fast and people are being removed from us at a blink of an eye every day and all day. So take the time out to smile, say hi to somebody, call somebody you ain't called in a while, send them a happy face, $1, whatever it takes, just to say, hey, I'm thinking of you. Don't wait for social media posts and Instagram posts or to see if they tagged you or poked you, whatever they do now on Facebook, to see if that person is doing okay. Because you never know. You could just be dealing with that person. This will be the last time you see him. And I hate for your last time to see him be the time that you just decided I'm not, in my head I was gonna call him, but on Facebook I pokes you. No, let's not poke each other. Let's just actually pick up the phone and see how people are doing. And it doesn't hurt to do that. If your mom or dad or grandma, sister, or brother is still around, sever all BS, connect all ties, and let's be family once again, you guys. Because at a blink of an eye, you could be sitting at a funeral, and that's not something you want to do. So I say this. I didn't mean to bring you down. I just want to say I love you. Smile. Because you're here today, you're on top of the ground, you're not under it, and the gopher's not bringing you your mail. So have a good night. Enjoy everything about this day, and be thankful you were blessed to be in it. We'll see you next week. The topic we don't know, but it'll come up soon. We'll figure it out. And this next topic will be a little more uplifting. This today, I think we kind of dragged this a little too long, talking about our children. We like them people. We like them, but once they get my children, they don't get no money for them no more. My ex text right off. So they're not even my friends no more. So I'll see you guys later. Have a beautiful time, a beautiful night, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Right.
Don't cover me cute. Good night.
Cover me cute.
Good night.